Yeah, I'm super excited. I've been hearing some of the chatter, people saying that Chaos is dead. They have no idea what's coming on Saturday night. I'm going to put the best performance in my career. And, I'm super inspired by Donald Trump taking back the White House and his work ethic. I mean, he's in 3 different states a day. Guy doesn't sleep. So Saturday night, I'm going to make the UFC great again. And January 20th, when Donald Trump gets inaugurated, he's going to make America great again.
I was going to ask you about him, and I'll just continue it right here. Any idea? I know it's not that close to Mar-a-Lago, but any idea if could he potentially be there on Saturday?
We got to see, man. I never reveal like surprises, but I got some big surprises in store for Saturday. So the fans definitely are going to want to tune in and see this. We're going to blow the roof off Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, and it's going to be a spectacle.
You were the first UFC fighter to visit the White House of a president and put the belt there. You're going to get to do it again? Is the goal to get to do it a second time?
First and only fighter to deliver the belt to a sitting president in the Oval Office in the White House. So yeah, I plan on doing it a second time. Next year, I feel like I'm going to be very active and get a title shot in early first quarter or maybe by summer at the latest. So I do plan on hand delivering another belt, the new belt. Since we have this new Power Ranger belt, we used to have such a beautiful belt, but now we have this Power Ranger belt. So I got to go give that one to Trump because he's got the old belt. We got to get him the new belt.
Are you going to go to the inauguration?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll be at the inauguration. Thankful that I got invited by the campaign.
Let's talk about your opponent. Obviously, it was kind of a late opponent for you and him. What do you make of Buckley? He's obviously on a run, but he's not been in there against someone of your caliber yet.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been in there with someone in the main event spotlight for 5 rounds. So, he better pack a lunch because it's going to be a long night for him. So, and he hasn't fought anybody at the elite level yet, someone that's a top, tier contender. So, he's talking a big game, but Saturday night he's going to get exposed.
Is there a way that you want to take care of business on Saturday?
I want to beat him so convincingly that the world knows I'm next for the title. I want the company and the fans to be like, "Oh wow, Chaos is back, and that's the best welterweight on earth. We need to get him in a title fight again." So anyway, but I just plan on finishing him before 25 minutes is up.
What do you make of the division right now? You just saw those two undefeated guys fight, and I know there's no love lost between you and Gary, but between those guys and Bilal taking over, what do you make of the guys above you, and who do you want to be there when you get your next title shot?
Yeah, it's a wide open division right now. Bilal backed out of his fight because he got a pager on his foot. Like, first off, why would you put a pager on your foot and then it blow up your toe? It's just so weird. So the fact that he backed out of that, he's a pussy. He's a good matchup for me. He likes to wrestle pressure guys. That's what I do best. He's not going to outstrike me as pillow fist. He couldn't hurt a fly. So I think the division's wide open right now for me, and I think it's a better storyline and arc to come this late in the game and come back and win the world title. So 2025 is going to be beautiful. A lot of good things are happening. America's first again, and Colby's going to be first again.
And last thing, if people weren't going to tune in, it's the last card of the year. Colby Covington, Joaquin Buckley. Why do they need to watch on ESPN on Saturday?
Yeah, they need to watch because I have some special things in store. I promise you that. We're going to blow the roof off Amalie Arena, Tampa, Florida. It's going to be a spectacle. I have some people that are going to walk out. It's going to be entertainment at its finest. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, honestly, a movie. So if you miss this show, it's the last show of the year. I feel bad for you. You're going to have FOMO afterwards.
You mentioned walkout. Is any hints you could give?
I can't do that. I can't kiss and tell like that, but I can tell you I have some special guests that are some big, big deals, and it's people are gonna lose their mind when they see who I walk out with.
Very excited. I'm just about to go out there and do what I do best and go out there and give guys or give people a show that they never gonna forget. And especially it's the last fight of the year. Not just the last event, but I'm the last fight of the year. So we gotta show up, show out, man, and do our thing.
And coming off a pay-per-view where everybody's talking, how about the opponent change? Does that matter to you, or
Nah, not at all, not at all. We make the good calls and we look at the switch up. And be honest with you, I'm liking the switch up for us. I love the Colby Covington fight for me. The type of style that he brings, the pressure that he has, I feel like it's just him gonna run into a brick wall and him gonna be flat on his back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
that was the next question? When you imagine and go to sleep at night, how this is going to end? Is it some violent knockout?
Yeah, it got to be a violent knockout. You know that's how I come. That's how I fight. With my fights in the UFC, I got 7 knockouts. You know, and I really feel like even with the ones that I haven't knocked a person out, they still was exciting. There was still something devastating about it that people watched and they always gonna be entertained by. So either way, you know, I feel like, you know, my performances kind of speak for themselves, you know, and that everybody is always gonna be tuned in.
In a way, the change of opponent gets you even higher in the rankings with a win. I think one spot.
Right.
Do you look at that you beat him and you go up and take the sixth spot? You're a fight away, 2 fights away max, from right there for the title.
Right, right. I already think I'm number one, if not champ. So at the end of the day, those rankings don't mean much to me. But when you talk about just strategy and trying to move up the ladder, yeah, this is a better fight for me. Yes.
When you look at the fight last week and you see the two undefeated guys going at it, do you look at them both that you no issues taking those guys out?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you though. Like with seeing that fight and having both of those guys, you know, go at each other, like you know, you get this certain aura about certain guys, especially if they undefeated. You know what I'm saying? And just to be like, oh man, they really like that. But they really showed that, you know what I'm saying? They just some regular guys, you know what I mean? They just regular fighters. And I feel like if I would have fought either one of them that night, I would have knocked them out. Period.
What do you think of Colby as an opponent? The guy's been at the top for a while now.
Right, right, right. I mean, as an opponent, you know, I'm just happy that I got a competitor that's gonna step into the cage with me. But you know, you already know he's the type of guy, man. He talks a lot of trash, and you know, he gets the fans, you know, emotional about certain things and certain topics. But at the end of the day, you know, he comes in there and he comes to fight. So as long as I got somebody to come into the cage with, you know, and we got to dance, let's get it. You know,
Not
let's
looking
boogie, baby, let's boogie.
not looking past Colby at all, but is there a name that you have in mind if you get by Chaos on Saturday night?
No, I ain't got no name. I just want to belt, you know. So at the end of the day, I feel like I didn't put in all the work that's necessary in order to put myself in a position. So getting a knockout over Colby Covington, I believe puts me in a position where I can fight for a title next.
2025 belt around your
There it is.
waist.
There it is. There it is. I'm calling that shot. Yep.
Is there somebody that you want to have the strap to take it off? Is there a fight that would mean more, or it's whoever is the
That
champ?
is actually that's a great question. I ain't gonna start with you. That's a great question, right? Because a lot of people ask, you know what I mean? Like who would you rather fight for the belt and all this other stuff. And to be honest with you, it really wouldn't make me no difference. But if I was to choose anybody, it would be Shavkat. I want Shavkat to be, you know, undefeated and be that boogeyman that everybody thinks and to take that strap from. Because if I fight somebody like Bilal, you know, I'm not gonna get the credit I feel like is deserved. Even though I know Bilal is a great competitor and he is a great champion, like people not gonna give me the credit because they already don't like Bilal. So if Bilal ends up losing, I feel like I'd rather fight Shavkat where I knock out the undefeated dude, you know what I mean, from Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan.
Last thing for you, if people weren't already tuning in, why do they got to check out UFC Tampa on Saturday?
Oh man, the reason why they gotta check out UFC Tampa this Saturday is that y'all already know, man, what I bring and how I show up. You know, somebody gonna get laid out. So y'all already know, man. Tune in.